Hey guys, what's up? This is Diego here at Cinemageddon Reviews. So, in case you guys missed it, there's this new music video out by this guy called Joyner Lucas, and it's for his song Will. And it's a great music video, and it's a great song by a great artist, but what I love the most about it is it's a love letter from a fan to his source of inspiration. And that really speaks to me, because a lot of artists inspire me, as I'm sure a lot of artists inspire you. And Joyner Lucas's music video, as well as Will's reaction to it, which is available on YouTube to watch, really hit home for me on a very personal level. His charisma, his sense of humor, and his creative work, whether it be his movies or his music, were a big reason that I got into making movies. He's one of my childhood heroes and one of my favorite actors ever. But probably the biggest influence that he had on my life was The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Now, I'm pretty sure I don't need to tell you what Fresh Prince is about. You've probably seen at least a couple episodes on TV by now. But what I can say that maybe a lot of people haven't said before, or maybe you haven't looked at it this way, is that this show, at its core, is really about all of us. It's about the way that we see the world, and sort of a constant reminder, no matter what age you are, to keep an open mind, and to always be open to correcting your mistakes. One of the biggest things that I learned from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is that there are different types of people in the world, and nobody is inherently right or wrong about the way they see things. It's just a matter of understanding how they think, where they come from, and what their core values are. You learn this right from the first episode, the culture shock that Will first experiences when he first moves in with his Uncle Phil, and the sort of polar opposites that they appear to be at first. Everybody at first sees Will as an outsider, an alien from another planet, just someone who doesn't and never will belong in their circles.
Will, there are other people at this table.
Oh, you're right. Any requests?
But at the end of that first episode, there's that hint that Will and Uncle Phil might not be so different after all. And right then and there, you understand Will's place in the story that they're about to tell as the shake-up, the sort of eye-opener that they've kind of always needed, which is the same thing that Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv and really the whole Banks family would be for Will over the course of the show. And to this day, that moment still hits home with me. Another reason I love The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is because it's also, obviously, extremely funny. There's a certain energy that Will Smith brings to every project, and even if you're watching a bad Will Smith movie, his presence in the film is always a positive. Unless we're talking about After Earth. But on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that energy was always present, and you could feel how that affected the other actors on the show. And the moments where Will really gave it his all were the best on the whole show. That's not to say that each of the actors didn't bring something special to the show. I mean, we all love Carlton, and Aunt Vivian, and Hillary, and Ashley, and Uncle Phil, and even a lot of characters that weren't regulars, like Jazz, and Will's mom, and Lisa. And of course, my favorite character aside from Will was Jeffrey. I mean, nobody could bring the humor like this guy could. He was a badass.
This ought to take care of that little sucker.
Sir, that's air freshener.
Well, it's all we have. It might work.
Yes. Perhaps the scent of sea breeze will recall some painful memory for him, and then he'll commit suicide.
Carlton was like the yin to the yang of Will, and it wasn't just the now famous Carlton dance, although it is a pretty big reason why we all love him. But he just brought a certain dorky, relatable likability as a contrast to Will's cool guy attitude, and it made for some really funny moments.
A cleverly orchestrated ruse, bub. And to think I laid out 50 big ones on your damn cake. And not just any cake. I got you that really, really neat one in the commercials. You know, the one that goes, Sonny the seal, your Tommy will squeal, a 49.95, oh, what a deal, it's Sonny!
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is hilarious. There are just so many funny moments that I could easily just skip this review and just make a compilation video of all my favorite jokes from the show. The way that the show was written, there was never an episode that felt out of place. No matter how serious or dark or goofy, they never seemed to go too far, because you were just laughing. even at certain moments where they intentionally went too far, you were still on board with it because you love the characters so much, and just seeing them react to the ridiculousness of the situation was always entertaining. So after season 3, they famously recast Aunt Viv, and they cast Daphne Maxwell Reid as the replacement for Janet Hubert. Now, I'm of the opinion that Janet Hubert was the better Aunt Viv because she had the more memorable moments of the two. I just don't remember that many funny or memorable moments with Daphne Maxwell Reid, and that might be because of the drama that happened and maybe it changed the way that they treated the character afterwards. However, I do like seasons 4, 5, and 6 more, so while the character of Aunt Viv wasn't as memorable in the second half of the show itself was more entertaining. I don't consider myself a sitcom person, really. I just feel like nowadays sitcoms aren't special anymore. There's something seriously lacking in the concept or the topics or the humor behind them. But anyone will tell you how important The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was in television history. It's definitely one of the best sitcoms of all time, and it's absolutely my favorite. And for that reason, I'm going to give The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air a 10 out of 10.
Way to go, Arnold Schwarzenegger!
Every time I watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it's like traveling through time. I feel like a kid again. There's a certain magic to it that you'd be lucky if you saw it in a movie or TV show that comes out nowadays. And that sounds incredibly biased, and I try not to be biased, but there are just certain characters that just stick with you for your whole life. They're just that special. And for me, Will Smith on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was one of those characters. So what do you guys think of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? I'm curious to know what your thoughts are, and what's your favorite moment from the show? Let me know in the comment section. Also, because I don't really see that many people talking about it, check out Joyner Lucas. His new album ADHD is out now with that song I was talking about, Will. I'm not the biggest hip-hop fan, but that whole album is pretty great, and the music video for Will is awesome. Up next, keeping up with this little Will Smith hype that I got going on, I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favorite movies starring Will Smith. So stay tuned for that video very soon. As always, if you're watching this on Facebook, be sure to give us a like, and if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any new content. Thank you guys so much for watching Cinemageddon Reviews. My name's Diego, and I'll see you guys next time.